Yo, it's Trey Blakes here, host of the MidZone. And today we have a very, very, very special guest for our very first episode, MAVI. MAVI, can you introduce yourself for the people who don't know you?
Hey, I'm MAVI. I'm a 20. How old am I, Nadir? 21-year-old. Rapper man, scientist man,
Yeah,
lover
magician.
man. Yeah, magician. Yeah,
For sure.
all of that. Learner.
Yes, sir. So we're just gonna get right into it, just like you did. So you just released the EP called End of the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So on the first track, you discussed a few things and you dove right into it. First
Mm-hmm.
few bars, I think you said journalism is gonzo.
Mm-hmm.
So I seen you talk about journalism and the state of journalism a few times in
Mm-hmm.
interviews and in music. And I think I've seen you say that one of your primary concerns is the influence that white people have who don't necessarily understand the language that a lot of rap music is written in. I also seen you say that all journalists, whether white or black or anything, tend to not offer their perspective within the context of their perspective. So I think you
Right.
meant by that a lot of people kind of see themselves as like gatekeepers or something of this, and that's not what journalism is supposed to be. Is that what
Right.
you're getting at?
Yeah, definitely. And when I was saying this that shit that we ride to, this scheme you travel time through ginger juice, Fronto, journalism, gun, so basically meaning I was just listing mad shit that's aesthetically very grounding for me in terms of comfort with my friends, what my friends look and smell like, what they move like.
Mm-hmm.
It was really an ode to my friends. And the journalism gonzo part is really about nigga, we gonna speak for ourselves type shit.
Right, right. That's what it feels like too. The song, it feels so much like it's so genuine and it's so like authentic, you know? It feels like it was written for you and your friends type shit.
Definitely, definitely. And the lyrics had came to me while I was already in the studio recording some other shit. Like just looking around at my friends who was there with me.
Yeah.
Like wow, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm. So overall, you think a lot of journalists, all journalists, pretty much have asserted themselves too much as gatekeepers?
Not necessarily all journalists. I don't know what all journalists even write, but I'm just saying in the practice of this shit, as an art form, I feel like some credence should be given to even contextualizing the objectivity that you're speaking from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is it from a place of scientific objectivity? If so, from within which field? When are you taking liberties? About when are you being literal? When are you translating exactly what somebody said to you? And when are you putting something else, putting a spin?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people, because journalists have the access and the first right to observation, where their observation stops and their perspective starts don't be too clear, especially in music.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So you also talked about hip hop police.
Yeah.
I was wondering if is DJ Vlad the hip hop police that you was talking about?
Yeah, DJ Vlad and DJ Vlad working in a whole fucking continuum with a whole bunch of forces that especially in New York and California, where the fucking law enforcement be really into what's going on in rap. They have to get a lot of information about shit through entertainment sources, and they do. And so yeah, it's like the media part is the literal police part and the judge's part.
Yep.
In terms of where poetic license is not linked to black artists who talk about a certain thing. Just because, people biases want them to believe that black men got some kind of higher potential for evil or misdoing.
Right.
Or whatever.
But yeah. I think you muted.
Oh, I was just saying hip hop police is super, super, super real.
Yeah,
for sure.
for sure. So I saw you describe the end of the earth and the theme behind it as the end of the earth as we know it, and just basically how shit is not working, and how we're essentially driving ourselves off of a cliff. So I kind of interpreted that. I saw you say that in an interview. I kind of interpreted that as a critique on capitalism and the way we're living under the system.
Yeah, bro. Just where like a few world governments have larger control over like the affairs of the entire globe, just by way of their influence and not by any substantial means. And while like Africa is like the material and geographical centerpiece of the world,
Right.
but remain like it continue to be like extracted from for human resources, physical resources, whatever.
Yeah.
The resource gradient of the earth is working in a way that's not sustainable for our continued existence.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah.
So would you say that revolution is necessary?
Yeah, but like, yeah.
So what would you say the artist's role in revolution is?
Same like everybody else role.
Like, if you're like if you're a working artist, every artist ain't the same.
Right.
Every artist don't even got equal stakes in the revolution. But you know, to collect things and to share things. You know, to collect things to share.
And those things you're talking about is the 12 things that are listed at the beginning of Let the Sun Talk.
Yeah, bro. Like our friend Hampton say, like the people is they're the best weapon in the revolution. So you gotta give the people gotta be armed in more ways than one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you can't even really ask certain things of the people without giving stuff to the people.
Exactly.
In the way of like them fulfilling your political goals. Otherwise, creating no different political system than the one that already exists.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you've discussed this a lot. All right. So on The Life We Live, you said the company's fucking with you just to seem a little woke. You said something similar before. You said the cold world just embrace us for the marketing. Caucasians make your presence a meal ticket. So it seems like you're very aware of what these corporations and these white people and these labels and whatnot, how they view you and what they see you as. So how do you deal with these corporations and these labels trying to co-opt you and your message or whatnot?
Well, I just be very careful about who I get into bed with. And how, I'm not working with a humongous bag, or as a rapper even. So to some extent, I don't know, I try not even exist in the same universe as the forces that try to co-opt my shit. Because then that's letting them in. And even me saying that in that song was to kind of it was really context, because it was it's like this. It's what? It's me just, and that was another song, most of the songs on End of the Earth came from being in the studio with my niggas doing other music that's not on End of the Earth. So on Life You Live, where I'm it's different year, the same niggas smile like we kids. That's just us looking around. Yeah. I'm don't let me forget. If I ever fail to mention, I'll be fucking up.
Right.
And then it's I'm being pulled in a home direction. I'm being pulled in a business direction, a school direction. While at the same time, I don't really have anybody else to look up to in terms of direct step by step. He did this and this and this, and I'm too old for that anyway. And at the same time as me just trying to create my most honest, pure work of art people want that honesty and purity just to make it impure through sales, you know?
Right.
So it's like, how do you win? It's like feeling a checkmate a little bit as a young nigga, which I be feeling a lot of different, yeah.
Yeah. So you said you don't really have nobody to look up to, and you said you're too old for that now, but you also, I think you talked about that. All your idols are dead, you said? I don't remember what song.
Or took the devil fully into their idle heads.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
So you, unlike a lot of rappers, you're not the only rapper, but you make your love. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. You make your love for all black people known, like very clearly. So, one of the most memorable verses is whenever you say a lot of your fans talk about this. We ain't free until she free too. We ain't free until she free too. At the end of that song.
Yeah.
You also posted a snippet for a music video where you were standing in front of a sign that said "Black Trans Period," and so I just noticed that unlike a lot of rappers, you make it your mission to point out the most oppressed people inside of our communities. So how important is that for you to be a rapper, to make it cool again, or make it cool for rappers to talk about whatever we want to talk about, along with women's rights, trans rights, all of that?
I just think it's like, it's being honest. Like, I kind of feel like a lot of niggas be lying about, like, a lot of stuff in their life.
Mm-hmm.
By omission, even. Like,
yeah.
I feel like it's a reality in most black people's life to care about, love a gay person type shit, love a trans person, love a woman, love whatever, love all the types of niggas that it is, love a street, love a rich nigga, love whatever. And so it's like, that's really the only kind of multiplicity. And then like me, like I'm a regular nigga at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the same time as like, people want to give me some sort of platform, ability, reach, I'm still a regular guy.
Yeah.
And the power ultimately is like, bro, I'm a regular nigga. And I don't lie about nothing else in my music. So why would I lie about, the fact that like, hey man, these people exist the same way we exist.
Mm-hmm.
And they are our brothers and sisters, like literally. And like, we can't win if they ain't winning. Mm-hmm. That's like a regular truth in my life. Like it's like for real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But so you say, we can't win unless they win. So it's kind of like all oppressed people, we got to fight for other oppressed people. Like, oppressed people can't be free unless the most oppressed people are free, Like,
for example, we don't like I'm not even fighting the black liberation battle, because I think it's just something cool and overwhelmingly powerfully amazing about black men. So why would I frame how I fight this fight in that way?
Right. Right.
It's because I think that there's some moral unrighteousness in the face of God that gotta be right. And that ain't the only one, the one that I feel. It's several moral unrighteousnesses in the face of God. And I can't really ask niggas, I can't make no moral appeal to people on behalf of my struggle if I can't see that in everybody.
Exactly. So do you think would you say that you're trying to change the narrative? Because I saw you say in an interview, like, niggas can't say a gun bar and then say a feminist bar. Is that something that you are trying to change?
No, I'm just hard. Like, I just really think different things than like what niggas be thinking, bro. Honestly, like, not in like I'm like so special or no shit like this, but even like, I don't know, bro. Like, I'm a real gentle man. Like, I'm a creative kind of nigga. And so even the way I approach like shit being similar, shit feeling loving, shit feeling warm might be different from the next rapper person. I don't know.
Yeah. So you said you don't lie in none of your music. Yeah. you just said that, and you also said you can't write all the time because you can't lie. And
Right.
I saw you talk about writing. I don't remember what song it was, but you've written multiple songs, one take essentially. Like you just
Right.
wrote it straight through. So I was just
Right.
wondering, like, what it takes for MAVI to get in that zone, because that's a different type of zone for you. For the way your songs are structured, for you to be able to write a song all the way through, I feel like that just takes a different type of focus.
Yeah, it does take a lot of focus, and it takes a lot of like input on my end. Not even in terms of like what I want to say, but like what have I done?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't doing nothing. Like MAVI won't appear if MAVI isn't doing shit. You know, he not like a figment of imagination.
Yeah.
He a coagulation of all of my life experiences combined with like my aesthetic values as it relates to sound.
Right.
So
it takes real life experiences for you to be able to write.
Right, and it take new musical experiences, and it take new, take new everything.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you said it takes new musical experiences. I've seen you talk about in an interview, I can't remember which one, that you want to rap more how you talk. And I can see you already doing it on this last EP. But you want to rap more how you talk. Can you talk about why that's important to you?
Because it's the way that I can be most secure in the fact that I'm being myself the whole way through this shit. Mm-hmm. Even as my life changed, even as the people around me life change and who around me change, I need to know that I'm being true and honest to the person that I am every day. Mm-hmm. That's the only way that I will be able to stand beside it as an artistic creation and be able to perform it. You know, you got to live in it in order to live in it on stage or anywhere else. At least as I do it, because I don't know, my knack for doing this shit is as like inspirational as it is technical. Mm-hmm. So I need fuel.
So it's not as much about the delivery. It is about the delivery, but it's mainly about just being true to yourself and true to your music.
Right, because like certain things that I just like about hearing myself rap. Yeah. In terms of like boom, I have stuff I want to do and I have tools to do it with. So the tools that I like to use, they'll always be like something that I feel will honor, the hip hop tradition that I was raised to love and shit. Yeah. So in terms of like technicality, as far as honesty to like the media, I'm gonna always keep that. That comes from the musical inspiration part. Mm-hmm. But as far as the life inspiration part, that's what I need to drive the content portion for sure.
For sure. So I saw you talk about Detroit rappers in an interview about how you like them a lot. I feel like they're the Detroit wave. All of them are like masters in rapping how they talk. Like I think that's one of the things that's so attractive to their music, because it literally sounds like you're having a conversation with them.
Yeah, that's they're one of my big influences in even pursuing that as like a thing about myself. Mm-hmm. Like yeah, bro, and it allowed them in the same way that I can just explain to you in regular words. Like it's something really like meritorious, like artistically, like about their ability to put you in a place and a time and a space and a lifestyle in the same way they would be able to if you like sat down with them there, right. What I'm saying? And they was just showing you around. Mm-hmm. And that's what all writers should pursue, not even just a rapper. Yeah, so I'd be really inspired by that for sure.
For sure. You talked about the idea behind every time you record and make new music is you're trying to make people replay it 5 times. Mm-hmm. A new person replay it 5 times over. And mm-hmm. the ultimate goal is to have your music mean something to them in their ideology or whatever. Like they'll view your music and view you as something. Right. Do you have a specific thing that you want them to view you as?
I don't think I have that much control over the thing. And even if I did, like, let's say I wanted them to look at me as a thug, right? The thing that I think about a thug, why I want them to see me as it, ain't even nobody else like connotation of that word when they hear it in their ears. You know?
Right.
So thug could mean hero, whatever. It can mean hero, it can mean trickster, it can mean rich person. It can mean fucking lover boy. It can mean all of this shit to one person. Or it can mean evildoer, murderer, arsonist, whatever to the next person. But neither one of them, you looking like a thug in their eyes, ultimately. You know? So I think like I'm gonna give people space to project whatever image of the sound and their emotional part of their limbic system in their brain onto me like everybody else do, because it's some niggas that never did nothing and people look at them like something, and some people who did everything and people don't look at them like nothing.
Right.
So whatever people gonna look at you like, I don't really know how much of that is in our hands.
Right. And I seen you say that you don't really have an intended audience for that reason, because what I might like about it, somebody down the street might not. So it's
I'm not saying audience is black people, but I just mean I don't have no type of black person that I want to be able to hear my shit. I don't have no intended audience. Like I just want young people to listen to it, or I just want old people, or I just want people who read, or I just want people who do this. I just want people who feel like this. Like, no, I think everybody can grab something from it, because ultimately, bro, like a lot of the shit that I be feeling when I'm feeling my most small, like them walls that make you feel like that, they recognizable to other people. As soon as you start explaining to people you would never expect to recognize me, you know?
Yeah. Can you talk about that 40 acres bar on I think it was The Life We Live? Your 40 acres metaphor where you whip like a mule.
It's just about like the promise of like Reconstruction America kind of fell on its face.
Right.
And like even where you might got 40 acres in your city. It ain't like just 40 acres for you to live and sustain yourself off of. It's like 40 acres where like the police, ambulance, firefighters come hella late if they come at all. The street don't get redone. It wasn't how it was said it was gonna be in no respect. It shouldn't have been that expected as such. But it's that yeah. But you know what I'm saying? We riding nonetheless. It's like, why? I don't know. But like the song has to end. Or why? I don't know. But like I woke up again. You know? I got this bar on the next album. It's like, first I thought I couldn't face regret. Then I kept waking up.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's essentially like that 40 acres is non-existent for us. It's like, yeah.
It was never received in earnings, you know?
Right. Yeah. And regardless of how much, is that kind of a take on Black ownership? Like regardless of what Black owned is to us, we don't really own much in this country. Like we don't have what we need to advance our people yet.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I just feel like even like if you take the American system to its fullest extent to your needs, it's probably gonna fail you. That's it. You know, like the political apparatus as it currently exists either can't or won't do the things it needs to do to sustain you in a way that it promised that the country name means that you will be sustained.
You have a very interesting definition of God that I saw you say. Could you give it to me again? I don't remember what it was.
It's just a set of laws and rules, boundaries and patterns that every body in the universe follow without no deviations. And then without the deviations is also fucking like mechanical and rule bound onto themselves. You know? That's God.
So
The
you
sum
said,
and God is the sum of everything that is, right?
mm-hmm.
And God is the container that could create containers for things as opposed to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
God is the thing that travel in between 0 and 1 and back.
So good is less real than God. What is good?
Good is what's right. I mean, not even what's right. Good is what's satisfactory in my spirit. What I feel is fair. What I feel is just. What's gonna feed me. Gonna keep me safe. God is the fact that time passes. The fact that there are complex patterns.
Say that again, you broke up.
Delicate balances that can be thrown off.
Say that one
We
more
don't
time.
exist.
Yeah, broke up. Say that one more time.
It's delicate balances that predicate our existence, and they can be thrown off, and we don't exist no more.
Mm-hmm.
God is building and destruction. You know?
Yeah. And you talked about that before, how you try to be conscious of your the ratio of your building versus your destruction.
Right. Yeah.
So you try to build more than you destroy, obviously. What is building redistributing the things that you talk about to your community, or is building more than that?
Yeah, it's that, and it's more than that. Like building is showing love as opposed to hate,
mm-hmm.
and being gentle as opposed to flexing. You know?
Yeah.
Or like being humanistic versus material, or being like self-preserving versus like hypercritical of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Choosing 1 over 0 in the long run.
Yeah. You've talked about the internet, saying that the internet isn't real, and I feel like I can kind of see you operate that way. It doesn't seem like you take too much stake. You don't think too much about the internet and what social media is saying about you, or what's going on social media. It seems like you use it for whenever you want to use it, kind of.
Yeah, I be on it a lot, but I be on it in a way that sometimes it's just I don't even know how to use it.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro. Nah, I don't care too much about the internet. The news part of the internet is crazy though. That's my favorite thing.
The what part?
News.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the news is crazy. But other than that, the internet shit, it'll be too first. Cause like it's, a lot of people don't even have a Twitter, and these things where you can monitor your people reaction to you as they existent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people don't even really be on that and shit like that.
Yeah. So,
and a lot of people don't even like, it's all microcosm. Like niggas might tell me, "Oh wow, MAVI, you're worse. You're da 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 da." But then that's like, you're saying that. But then like nobody knows you, and nobody even knows me.
right.
So like, it's like at the same time, like we all just throwing fucking pebbles into the ocean
Mm-hmm.
when we give it our opinion.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's good.
Me or anybody else, like the most famous nigga and a nigga with nothing on his name.
Yeah.
We all throwing pebbles in the ocean. We're giving out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's something like that's what I'm not trying to do with it. Well, not necessarily not trying to do. I think that goes back to the music journalism thing. People just you've talked about it too. People who aren't rappers or who aren't black just tend to give their opinion on something that they just might not get, or or something that means something different to someone else. And I just think that kind of like summarizes the state of journalism, because it's so much opinion when it should be like covering these artists that are producing art for us. That's all it is.
And like, yeah, like I don't know. A lot of it just have to do with boom, like patterns as far as like rhetoric shit goes, because like boom, first patterns can dictate what people think about a thing. Because like a lot of music channels just next salad to next salad to next salad. So everybody kind of saying roughly the same thing about a guy or a person.
Say that again. You said a lot of patterns. What? You started breaking up a little bit.
A lot of like opinions or rhetoric dispersed from like single outlets to the point where all the outlets are parroting each other and saying roughly the same thing about a person.
Right.
Like multiple places are saying the same thing. And then also patterns because people need ways to understand things that they never understood, and people need a way psychologically to get people to click on a thing that they have never clicked on before and like it.
Right.
So like that makes people be lazy in how they like even reference things.
So you're saying that essentially, clicks makes people lazy. We're trying to get clicks, presenting things in a way that will make people react.
Yeah, and react to like novel ideas within like old frameworks is kind of regular necessary in music journalism to an extent. So it should be regressive a little bit.
Say
like referencing new ideas or new things within old frameworks for the sake of comparison is damn near necessary to people to the point where it make like the whole shit regressive.
So essentially, people need familiarity, and it can make it regressive.
Yeah, because you keep making new things old.
Right. So you be on a lot of music like very early. I see like a lot of the artists I listen to, and I've seen that you said that in one interview that the women in the rap game in a lot of respects are out rapping the men. So I was just wondering, like, who are some of your favorite women in the rap game?
Masai, Gianni, Hook, Nappy Nina, BK Arula, Big J, Asian Doll. It's a lot of good girls. Oh shit, Tater Tot.
Who's that?
Tater Tot so fire. She got it. Yeah, she's fire. TEYTERTOT. And Baby Sosa.
For sure. So what did you mean that they're do you think that overall the women are out rapping the men in today's rap game currently?
I don't know. I don't even know if that's that. I don't even know when I said that. That's a crazy thing to say.
Oh, okay.
Not as a crazy thing to say like the women can't out rap the men.
it's just a crazy thing to.
This is the crazy way. Yeah, it's a crazy thing to say.
Yeah, it's like a big generalization.
Yeah, right. It's a wide generalization.
Mm-hmm.
I should have said that. But and like I shouldn't even put it like there's like WNBA and all the like rap women. That's like they in their own lane doing their own shit fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Niggas is trying to figure it out. Nigga, we is so yeah, like I mean if you make it like all-star TV, like in terms of identity, content, direction, artistic value, whatever. I feel like we kind of got to get it together in some respects where some women rappers, a lot of women rappers is excelling right now.
Mm-hmm.
Facts. That's true.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. I was just speaking real bluntly.
Yeah. So you said in an interview once that you have a different definition of what it is to be a man than most people. What exactly is the definition for you?
Well, I just feel like I have to do some things for myself and my family in the name of like, you know?
Yeah.
And like, I have kind of high standards that I hold myself to the point where when I'm consistently not reaching my standards, I be going through like extreme mental duress.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
So, yeah, bro, like, and even like, I don't know. Like, I don't think I should just be the boss of everything just because I'm a nigga.
Mm-hmm. Right.
My girlfriend is laughing. Oh, you're not laughing at me. That's good. Okay, she agrees. But goddamn, yeah, bro. I don't know. Damn, this shit is like, MAVI, you said this shit.
Yeah, no, I watched a lot of interviews, and you just have like just a different type of perspective on things. Like you give more interviews than most rappers too. Well, a lot of rappers, and yeah, your opinion is.
I feel like I should stop though. You think I should stop?
Giving interviews?
Yeah.
Nah.
In like 3 years.
In a couple of years, maybe, yeah, type shit.
Like for 3 years.
Yeah, and then just go. Yeah, that'd be fine. If he went ghost, they'd be waiting on a MAVI interview.
Sweet.
Yeah, if he went ghost, and you said go ghost for a couple of years. Yeah, go ghost for a couple of years. Whoever gets the first MAVI interview when you come back would be a legend.
Yeah, I'm feeling relaxed because like also I feel like some of the impact Let the Sun was like, and I felt really sad about my album being pushed back a lot of songs, but like be the only thing I had out for a while.
You said Let the Sun Talk. You wanted it to be the only thing you had out for a while.
Yeah, like allowing it to, whether I wanted for the time that I wanted to and for the time that I didn't want it to. To where it like just had some extra time to resonate.
Yeah.
And like not be fluky to niggas. Like, you know what I'm saying? It would not be so trendy. Like I fear being trendy. There's a lot come with that. A lot come with that. And I fear being a spectacle. A lot come with that too.
What comes with being trendy?
What comes with being trendy is you can go out of style. Yeah. Relatively quickly. Actually, the pressure for you to go out of style it becomes so great. You know?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Just as, you know, equal and opposite forces type shit. Once you're a spectacle, right?
What you say?
Once you make a spectacle of yourself,
once you stop making spectacles of yourself, people stop paying attention. And you could be making the best art of your life. And nobody will listen if the spectacle's not there anymore.
So are you, by that do you mean that you're trying to create your image? You're not trying to create an image that's bigger than you.
Yeah, I'm a big dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm regular. Like, I don't want to be underground. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, put a ceiling on my shit.
Yeah, not necessarily.
But at the time, my goal is not to sell people a type of person that I am. Some shit that I gotta uphold or whatever.
Yeah.
Every time you see me, even in any direction, you know? Because that's not even a fair way to represent blackness, I feel. And I like that more people nowadays is rejecting that for themselves, too. A lot of artists is doing that right now.
You said rejecting, say that last sentence again? A lot of artists.
Rejecting where you just have to be a type of, where you're selling people a type of black person. A lot of artists are rejecting that for their own, you know, self.
So you're saying that like a lot of artists are, there's a type of blackness that's accepted and that's been accepted in the music industry, or that's
but like, actually, yeah.
And that a lot of artists are shying away from that and being, because blackness isn't one thing. Blackness is whatever.
But not that, like, where it's singular types of representation, even if they're really different representations from each other. That, like, you know, even the people who making a lot of money in that system may not be happy at the time with what they doing. Shit like that.
Yeah. So is one of your goals in writing to make your listeners want to read more?
Kinda not though.
Kinda.
I don't really care how much people. Until everybody got some food type shit.
Yeah.
Just people read on an empty stomach, bro. That got prison vibes to it. I don't know, but I got like, I want people to write more. And people who want to write better go and read more. So I guess vis-a-vis, I want people to think more. I want people to do everything.
Yeah.
But read more, I guess. Yeah. I do want people to read more. I be falling for that classic American anti-intellectualism. Everybody should read, for example, who can read.
Say that again.
Yeah, no. Actually, fuck that. I want people to make sure everybody can read more after the list of my music. Not just read more themselves.
So I think your music has actually, Let the Sun Talk especially, had that impact on me. I was reading already, but I started reading more. I just, some of the words and just some of the things you say is just kind of inspiring to, like, how does someone like my age have this much knowledge, you know? So I think that it definitely had that impact on me to where I was sharing that with my friends, you know? Like, your music kind of played a role in my radicalization. So I think it's like achieving.
I'm happy about that, bro. But like, you was born radical. Like, you're not a white person.
Yeah. Exactly.
So you know what I'm saying. You could be.
My whole journey of radicalization. You had that. Let the Sun Talk had a piece, you know.
Man, I'm happy about that, bro. That's all I want for my shit, bro. As a human.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out how to say this shit more and more and more. But I got some crazy shit coming, like some, like, my politics raps is definitely coming.
Yeah. You already got the album done, the next album done, right?
X2 type shit.
So how do you go about that? Like, you're very particular with how you plan it out. When you're recording, in your writing? Is it Let the Sun Talk was very organized, and it was very, I think somebody else said this in an interview, very essay format. You introduce yourself. Essentially the first two songs are introductions. Do you, whenever you're writing, every song, are you writing with the intent of it going into a specific piece on a project? Well, I know you said you didn't do that with End of the Earth, but with the albums, are you writing each song like for it to go in a certain area or a particular part of your project?
Yeah, for my album, yeah, because my album is really like, it gets really like staticky at some point, and then it gets really like instrumentally flowy at other points, and like a real war and peace organized kind of way around the thing. But yeah, sometimes yes, sometimes no. Like, I'm trying to give myself space for me to making this much albums in this much time texture. I don't think it's the best way to do it. There's some new streaming era type time and shit I got going on. I don't think you're even supposed to make 3 albums in 2 years type shit like that.
Yeah.
I think you should. Like I was going for it for first, like the ego way, because like a lot of people around me have been making a lot of music and shit like this. And the music I've been making is still really good and it's really cool. But it just needs space for itself to live.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to ask about was you use samples for the familiarity, you said. And is that for the familiarity for your listeners? Or or for you as well?
For both, like where I know where a drum's gonna be at, or where I can imagine one at. You know, because it has a certain logic. A logic that's like even outside of the confines of like a 64-beat sequencer. Because that's hard formal logic. But it ain't the logic of like swing. If that makes sense.
Say that last part again.
I was saying that like samples in recorded music, period. You got a certain live recorded music specifically. Got a certain logic to it that even 64-beat sequencer can't capture.
Right.
Even though that's way more fixed and secure.
So you've talked about how you're not really like good with the balance in the school and the music shit. Is that getting better as you get older?
You know, it's getting worse as I get older. I was better earlier. Is school harder? I got more music shit to do. Like, it's like neither one is like slowing down type shit.
Yeah. Is that like something you appreciate though?
No. Maybe want to jump out the window.
You talked about
it to be over.
You talked. What year are you?
Senior.
Are you a senior? You said on the one song, "School will rip and break apart a whole little village." Is that what you was referring to, basically?
Yeah, I'm just missing my friends. I've been missing my friends.
Yeah.
So much, bro. I love my friends so much. Like so much. Like more than regular people that are friends.
Say it one time.
I love my friends more than regular people that are friends.
Yeah. And do you feel like you need your friends and for your regular process and for your music?
Yeah, I need my friends to exist.
I feel like you take more inspiration from the people around you musically than you ever have from people that came before you musically, like the people around you that you see on a
Right.
day-to-day basis.
Like,
I feel like that's who you get your inspiration from. Is that accurate? Like,
yeah,
Mhm.
especially like Messiah, Amir.
Yeah.
So we rap from like the same little brotherhood of sounds, which I can appreciate. That'll become more obvious with time. But I love being from where I'm from. I love being here at home. It makes me feel different than being a lot of other places. I haven't been everywhere. And that's one of my goals, to go everywhere to see what make me feel like how this make me feel.
Yeah.
But I ain't found it yet.
Yeah. So is it more difficult to record at school, or I'm pretty sure you recorded Let the Sun Talk in the dorm, didn't you?
I mixed it. Well, I recorded some of it in it, but I recorded most of that shit in the garage. It was finished in the dorm, like all the mastering sessions.
Yeah.
Like the interludes and the background vocals and the sound effects. That was all dorm work. But yeah, I don't live at school like that no more. Like, I don't shit. Yeah.
But do you like, for your recording process, do you think it's at its best, and your writing process, do you think it's at its best when you're feeling the energy of your home?
I actually don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know though. I don't know. It's really about me. Like, it's really some other shit. Like, I really have to be having like the right kind of day. Gotta be at the right time of the day. Gotta be fed, right kind of food. I don't know. I be acting like a host sometimes about recording, but the best times how you recording, they all similar to each other. You know, in terms of like how I feel. Yeah. And I record my best, like where I don't have to be in there all day, whatever, when it's just me at the studio, Dolly, me and the engineer, or just me, just recording myself. But I've been having some, some growing and changing with my creative process. Yeah. And I'm really like trying to promote that in myself. That's also why I feel I need to take some time after this.
So take some time as in, when do you think you'll be releasing music again?
Well, soon. But like after that, I don't know.
For sure. So you're saying that there just needs to be a period of reflection for you to continue to grow. You need to be able to analyze the different parts of you that need growing and different parts of you that have grown for you to continue in this journey.
And to allow for growth outside of the context of what my habits and my assumptions tell me is like the next bar or the next career move or the next this. Allow more flexibility and creativity with predicting my own place in this shit. And having more leverage to do so.
Right.
Time is gonna help me.
You're not signed, right?
Not like that. I got a distro.
Would you ever plan on signing?
I guess. If it makes sense. Just gonna get the music out. Keep me owning everything. And whatever. Shit like this. It's certain things. Yeah.
They tell you ownership ain't everything, but bro, just try. Were you talking from your personal experience?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It pays to play the long game. With everything about music. Yo.
All
right, yeah.
Did you hear the last question?
I forgot it now though. Yeah.
It was just basically about what's next going forward. We're wrapping it up. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I'm finna drop this album called Shango at some point. End of the Earth merch, maybe a volume if I feel nice. Yeah. And like I really can't wait to tour shit, bro.
Yeah, I know. When was the last show you got to do? Where was it?
Houston.
Houston.
Yeah, it was a really good last show.
That's not bad right now. That's crazy. Are there you got any videos planned? I saw you were working with Lone Wolf.
The videos, man, I got like 6, 7 videos planned.
Cool. I always wondered, how much of a role do you play in like the directing of your videos? Do you like to be hands-on with those or no?
Yeah, with the general fucking themes and like concept. Like, and I choose the director based on my style. So like from a coach perspective a lot. And then on court, I play point guard here and there.
Yeah.
Or I play center. Like I just dunk the ball.
Okay.